Hello, everyone. My name is Svetlana, and I'm delighted to be here on Uzakrota event. And thank you very much for all effort putting all together and making this event happen. I will share my screen. And let's see. Why do we have here? Just 1 second. Yeah, here. You should be able to see a full screen now. Yeah. So as I said, my name is Svetlana Udalov, and I'm glad to present one of the most needed software especially in today's situation, and that is related to the management and how to reduce cost and increase revenue. The story behind our company and a little bit about me is that I am not from hospitality industry, but that is kind of advantage because I have the experience and being a family of who owns and manage in a family who owns and manage hotel. More than 30 years. Thank you to my husband, Alexander. He was a good support to provide us with his expertise. And as I said, that was very important for us to develop a program which really helps people who works in hospitality and with their hands-on in their businesses. And HKeeper was born in a very interesting way, because when we moved to United States and we bought our hotel, we start to manage, and I was that property, and I was involved 100% in the management process. And I decided to start with this screenshot and showing you how many steps I have been doing during my working day at 9 p.m. And that was very frustrating. I start to look and discover what is happening around, just to understand which tool and which IT technology I can use to make my life easier and manage easier and more efficient. But unfortunately, I discovered that whatever was before 1980 in terms of back operation, it's still was the same, and still it's the same. And from this office and was moving forward, implementing technology, and from phone calls, fax, telefax, they moved to the property management systems that allows to work with reservation, booking hotel rooms. And now we see that there are even self-check-in kiosks, but for back house operation, I'm talking now about hospitality, about housekeeping, about maintenance, and other department, it's still the same. Also, these numbers, what you see here, we understand that money we spend for back house operation, it's exactly what we have to take care of, and especially now to count every penny. And 41% of expenses goes to the salary, and 50% goes to the operational expenses, and there are no tools. I went a little bit deeper and I start to look which kind of program I can find. I saw revenue management, operational like property management system, marketing, food and beverage, meeting events. All these fields are full of program. And of course, when we're talking about profit and loss, and as you see, profit can be tracked easily and everything goes digital. But when it comes to the loss, and this is basically 50% of all expenses, sometimes more, and there are no tool that allows you to navigate through that expenses, to understand what is happening. And, sometimes I'm joking and telling it's like Bermuda Triangle. Whatever you put there, it just disappears. And as I was more and more involved in the process, as I said, of course, that pushed me forward. And at the end of the day, I understood that any program of what I could find at that time wasn't fulfilling my needs. And we decided to build our own software. And from 2017, we start. We have a very good STO, a very smart guy. He's from Belarus. He did his best, and actually from 2017 our program we implement our first program in our own properties, and after a couple of our friends join us. And moving forward, I wanted to jump for today's situation. And when I'm talking about expenses, I just want to bring you a sample. Recently in November, Wall Street Journal published that Marriott managed this last quarter to leverage their expenses and cut their cost by 57%. And basically that was equal to their low occupancy level, and they even showed like 0 point extra profit. And looking to that numbers, of course we understand that we're not Marriott, and I'm happy that such a huge company in hospitality industry leaders, they're trying to show to us that we have to work with expenses as well and cut operational cost. And here on the next slide, I wanted to show you how much money HKeeper can help to save just by automating the backhouse operation. And when I talk about these numbers, I want to bring to your attention that, of course, we pay by hours, salary to our employee. And when it was 70% occupancy average, that was fine. But when we come for today's day and everything is unpredictable and still we have to keep our business running, we have to count each penny. And that numbers, which you saw on previous slide, came from this calculation. And this calculation based on the minutes, because now each minute it's counted, and we understand that we have to maximize our efficiency. And as you see here, as we go manual task assignment, with a manual task assignment, so then you have to, hotel has to spend, management has to spend more time on administrating such a task. And if we just take these numbers seriously and look that for certain guest requests, even before that guest request start to perform, your employees spend time and you pay for that time just for transferring information. So for every call, which minimum last for 2 minutes, which gives you 1 hour, finally you pay for 1,380 per year per employee. The same with the cleaning task. We know that it's to do a cleaning, it's a very hard job, and if we can eliminate needs of making notes by housekeeper, first of all, that makes easier their life and their job, and second, we don't have to spend 45 minutes for one shift for making notes, and that 45 minutes, it's one more clean room. And I think that time can be saved and used for something better. And one of the biggest part of our budget, it's a maintenance department. And here we see to transfer information from housekeeper to the maintenance, to the plumber, to electrician, it takes also time. And average time to transfer one task from between department and get to the maintenance employee takes 8 minutes. So that 8 minutes cost another 17,000 per year. And I want to go back and show you one more time these numbers to understand that saving 100,000 can be reinvested and can be used for something better than just paying for time, transferring information, administrating tasks, creating work orders. Of course, investment to the program such an HKeeper, it's not even 10% out of what you can save. And I would like to jump to another slide. And when we're talking about HKeeper and such a program, what is the main idea? The main idea is to optimize all management procedure, automate maximum task assignment, proceed with all preventive project and make it this happen and assign automatically. And of course, by optimizing and automating the backhouse operation, that allows you to outsource services which probably you shouldn't keep it in a house. And at the same time, I wanted to specify that HKeeper program can be used in any size of hotel, and at the same time by apartments and vacation houses, cleaning and maintenance companies, and of course in hospitals and senior living. So next, what I would like to discuss with you, it's a COVID-19 situation. And besides that, we had all this problem before with the manual task assignment and not a very good communication tool. That leads us to the today's reality, when on top of that, we have to implement also remote management, because nobody wants to be more face-to-face interacted face-to-face, including your team, not just a guest. And at the same time, automated workflow has to be happen as well. Real-time reporting is something very crucial. When you start to work remotely, you have to understand what is happening and where is your business. And contactless communication, social distancing, that is all came as, very needed to tools, and it has to be implemented and has to be proceeded in each hotel. And of course, our legacy, it's with our program, which are not cloud-based, that is another issue, because unfortunately not all company had time to switch to the new way of streaming and new way of managing, and that is leading us to not having options to integrate. But for now, I hope situation changing faster than it could be. And I would like to tell you that COVID-19, yes, it's a very negative impact on whole world economy, but at the same time, we have to take some positive outcome out of this, and we understand that COVID-19 crisis triggers so many good things as well. And I wanted to talk a little bit about HKeeper a little bit deeper and explain why hospitality, why hoteliers have to look to the digital solution, and specifically for backhouse operation that allows you to have a dashboard solution. And when we talk about a dashboard solution, what that mean? I wanted to bring as a sample to probably understand better what is about digital solution. It's everybody drives a car. Yeah, we all know that on dashboard we see all everything about our car, starting from pressure in the tires, and what is the level of the petrol in your car, and how far you can drive, and how fast you can drive. You have all safety settings. So generally speaking, in our car, on our dashboard, we see all technical parameters, and we see how our car perform. And when it comes to the hotel operation, unfortunately, we don't have such a dashboard. And if we are talking about old-fashioned, let's say, management procedure, at the end of the day, in the afternoon, we are waiting when all reports will be ready. And what is sad here is that when these reports are done and submitted to the manager, that reports are already out of date, so they are not real-time reports. And here, most important to understand that these reports are summarized and brought together based on papers based on manual calculating. In our scenario, when we go digital, all this report built on based on what was performed by employee. And as you see on the screen, this 3 mobile phone, that is our application, which allows employee start to work not using pen and paper, but they're using mobile application. So each task that starts will reflect immediately on in the reports on a dashboard, and you will see who is working, how long time they're proceeding with task, what materials was used and etc. On next slide, probably that will be you will see it better. So employee, when they receive tasks through the mobile app, again, I want to repeat and emphasize that, then each task when they perform, you see it on workflow, digital workflow, what is happening in terms of task procedure, which task started, which task on pause, what was average rate for that task, and etc. Also, most important here is that each task and each steps can be documented by taking picture, and that information can be reflected on a dashboard for manager, on manager's dashboard or supervisor's dashboard, and at the same time that allows your employee to feel more secure and understand that he can always report if there are any issues. And I wanted to point out here, we have some unique feature, and I will talk a little bit more about that. So in our system, when housekeeper, let's say, or any employee who is on the floor in the guest room or somewhere other in any other areas, if they see something doesn't work or there are any issues, they can use our pictogram language and create task automatically. So our system creates logic behind each task and assign this task automatically to the person who is responsible for performing such a task. And again, I wanted to get back to productivity, which can be increased, and by 30%, it's a minimum. And of course, we can reduce again operational cost by automated and synchronizing digital workflow. On our next slide, we see here how great can be friendship between hotels team, each employee, and digital technology. Because for now, when we have low occupancy, we have to ask our employee to do multitasking. Even general managers, I know in this situation, they have to do everyday jobs, clean and welcome guests. Besides that, keep all routines running smoothly. And our bellman, sometimes I know that they have to clean room, not just open door and not just to take luggages and etc. And when we're asking for multitasking our employee today, we have to provide them a proper tool to stay connected, make sure that guests will not feel that you have shortage in your employees and your hotel's running on his best performance. And of course, employee has to be flexible, accountable. No task can be lost, especially in this crisis situation, when guests are so sensitive on any changes. And when we're talking about friendship between employees and digital technologies like mobile application for your line staff who is working on the floor, that is very important to understand that we basically not substitute employee. We enrich their performance and we eliminate mistake, errors which can happen during the work performance. That is very important, I think. And we add options to have your team multilingual, because we have implemented translator in our solution. Our system is smart, intellectual, because system has logic, as I mentioned before, that can assign automatically tasks, and that logic based on your own hotel standard. And your employee will be more responsive. System helps him to be systematic, and good things about IT technology, that it's never late, never tired, very honest, and no memory limit. And I believe that with a virtual assistant, you can double or triple your team and keep it also minimum employee in a hotel. Next, our slide will be again about employees, and I believe that we must to create a safe environment, and of course, by providing good solution, good application for them, and make their job contactless and of course, becoming more digital and remote in terms of assigning tasks. That is a very good advantage. And at the same time, we allow our employee to be more involved in a routine process, because now when they have application such as HKeeper, they can do self-inspections that eliminates needs of going more people to the room, or going around the buildings and etc. And inside the building as well. And we leverage here QR codes that allow us to make sure that your employee will on specific room, on specific location, and they perform tasks. Because if they don't scan QR code, which is placed strategically on the right place, then task cannot be started. And that is very useful feature here, especially for resort for bigger for hotel who has a bigger facility, so manager cannot always, supervisors go outside and check if task was performed, if outside area was cleaning and it's cleaned and etc. So then when you place a QR code on a different location, that makes sure that your employee went to specific place and perform his task. And again, when we're talking about efficiency, if we cannot measure it, so we cannot improve it. And in our system, we have different type of measuring features. And on this screen, you see that we can measure not only effective time when your employee works, but at the same time, we can measure, we call it turnaround time. That means time which which takes to your employee shift from one task to another. That is show how efficient your middle line of your employee, I'm talking about supervisor, how well they can organize workflow, and that is very important. I know from real experience and from our clients, when they use HKeeper, they understand that sometimes traveling time, it's not even 10 minutes per day. It can be up to 20, 30, and sometimes 1 hour. It depends if you have in your property elevator for the employee, or if they still use elevator for the with guests at the same time. So that is all small details which can dramatically improve our performance and help, as I said, improve efficiency, and of course save on expenses and not to pay just for turnaround time. Again, when we talk about digital transformation, of course, we have real-time and automated reports, which based on task performance, perform task directly from the and comes directly from the employee, because as I mentioned before, each task when housekeeper start, maintenance start, or any other department, all this will be reflected, filtered, and gathered in a graphs or in and can be transferred to the PDF and Excel reports as well. And we have analytics which allows you to see dynamic of the changes during the day. We slice day for every 3 hours, and you see all changes which were happening during 24 hours. And now I wanted to talk a little bit how our guests changed and how new travelers changed their behavior, because before COVID situation and arise, what we were trying to about what we were trying to inform our guests, that was basically information that related to the property amenities, as you see here. But nowadays there are several smart startups, and they instead of providing information what our guest can get from the TripAdvisor, let's say, they provide information and gather from the traveler what hotels are doing in terms of following COVID-19 protocols, let's say, and guests now start to submit information if hotel provides a face mask, hand sanitizer, if it was health declaration form and etc. So that is all changes, of course, affect and has to be considered during today's operation. And in nowadays we have to change our business model as well and consider all these needs which our clients, hotel guests want to know. And on top of having situations that guest wants to know what is happening in terms of proceeding with COVID-19 protocols in each facilities, then guests want to know also in which level is your cleanliness. And here I think we had this June or July, TripAdvisor published that 86% of our consumers says that they want to know what exactly what done by hoteliers to provide a clean and safe environment. Even Booking.com add some options to publish that information by hotel. And when we're talking about cleanliness, HKeeper can provide each hotel, and that is our, again, unique feature, with a cleanliness certificate. And that cleanliness certificate allows you to inform guests prior arrival when cleaning was done, which protocol hotels follow. And I believe that having this information and informing your guests in advance that you are ready to share, you want to be transparent, that change psychologically, I think, and prepare our traveler to be more open and wishing to stay in our hotels. And of course, information that hotel can provide cleanliness certificate can be published on TripAdvisor, Booking.com, any social networking, and that is very important part. And not saying just about changing way of communicating with guests. That is also very good marketing tool which allows you to prioritize your hotel, and be competitive in today's situation, which is not and that is not easy to do. And when we talk about guests, then we have to consider also how much do we pay when we manage guest request. And that is again concerning of our options to implement automation. Because for now, when we're talking about guest and services that we can provide, we see that for proceeding with a guest request, it takes again time. So each hotel, if they have concierge or any PBX system or just a front desk, still each request before it gets to the executor, before it gets to the housekeeper, or if someone wants to have his car ready or any other type of services, that should be proceeded through the several departments. And again, we pay for that time, and not only pay, guest has to wait. And sometimes just to proceed each request, it takes 2, 4, 6, sometimes 10 minutes. And why your guest has to wait? And we would like to change that situation. And what we offer, what HKeeper offer, is to save this amount of money just by implementing our virtual concierge that again has a smart feature which allows you create logic behind each request. And that request, from the moment a guest, let's say, wants to have a towel or pillow in the room, that guest request directly goes to the person who is responsible for such a request, to perform such a request. And we save a lot of time, and we increase, of course, guest satisfaction level as well. And on top of that, we save a pretty good amount of money. And how it works, you have to just simply place QR code flyers in the room and provide contactless and touchless communication. That takes just basically zero investment, because you don't have to put any gadgets in the room. And most important, that guest will scan this QR code and will be in contact with you all time. He doesn't have to be in the room. And of course, we we, as I said, we create each guest request. For each guest request, we create automatically task. We have very good feature. It's auto escalation and notification. That means if you if created task for your housekeeper, let's say, or for runner, will not be started in a minute, in a 2, in a 3. It's dependent on the hotel standard. Then system will send the alerting message to the front desk, to the general manager. That can be customized. And on top of that, when we proceed with the providing amenities to our guests, we also can create marketplace, and that will be additional revenue for hotel. And now we all know that we have to remove all flyers, all printed materials like a menu from the room, and we have to solve this problem and let our guests know which services they can buy, what activities are happening around. So here, the hotel can place all this information on one platform and guests can have access. And again, when someone from the, any guest will request any excursion or, let's say, sightseeing or any activities like fishing, then HKeeper will connect directly local vendors with client, and he got alerting and messaging notifications that specific guest from specific hotel would like to have fishing and what time, what is the size of the party, and etc. And most important here, again, when we have to eliminate these papers and printed materials, that is important to keep informed our clients, our guests in a hotel with all services that we can provide, and not just to pay for concierge who is connecting your guest with the locals, but on top of that you can earn some money as well. And we provide all type of reports which are related to the guest request. And as we are talking about going paperless, yeah, I wanted to switch, and I cannot talk about sustainability, because in today's situation, it's very important that we have to save environment. And when we can combine and not just save environment and also increase our profit, that is also good feature thing. And last year, my daughter, she was 12, she made a project for her school, and she took HKeeper, our program, as a sample, and she calculated that if all US hotels housekeeping department will be transferred to the digital and paperless workflow, then it says 15 Central New York Park. Imagine the amount of trees. And that was very funny, because she couldn't picture it clearly. How much is this 2,600, 8,000 trees? And she said, how can I understand and imagine that? And finally, she came up with the idea to compare to the Central New York Park. And I think that was great, because even not just for children and teenagers, and even for adults, imagine how many trees we can save. And not only that, when we talk about going paperless, yeah, then we eliminate need of ink consumption. And I wanted to, you guys to smile a little bit from one side, but from another side, take very serious, because on this slide, you see that 1 milliliter of the printer ink cost more than 1 milliliter of Dom Perignon champagne. Yeah, and of course, now that was, when I was researching, that was very interesting to find out. And even Chanel number 5, it's less expensive now, production of these perfumes than to produce ink. And here's all our features which we can provide, and I will be very happy to get in touch with all hoteliers, all management company, and we can, of course, go more deeper, but unfortunately we have only 30 minutes. And please feel free to contact us. My email is listed, I think, on Uzakrota website, and of course we can get in touch, as I said, schedule a call. And most important, it's to provide your back house operation with a proper tool to help you to go over all this crisis situation and perform better and better. And of course, number which we can perform higher. And I don't think that I have more time here. And again, please feel free to contact us, and we will be happy to assist you and talk a little bit more about our possible cooperation. And now I stop sharing here. I don't know if we have...
Svetlana. Yes, thank you so much it was a very, very detailed presentation actually. So I learned a lot. So even though it was the final presentation, so I really, you did not only define the problem, but also provided the solution. So you basically innovate the housekeeping problem, the hotels, the wonderful solution we actually needed, particularly in the middle of COVID-19. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for sharing your solutions with the team. So if you wait for a few seconds, so I'm going to make the conclusion because this was the final event of the today, so we can do it together. So for the audience, actually, today is officially done. Thank you very much for being with us during the whole day. So we saw a lot of great discussions, conversations with the industry leaders. So we hope you also benefited from communicating with other colleagues and industry leaders from our models and systems. So we had lots of traffic today, high volume. So we tried to overcome such kind of obstacles. Tomorrow, I'm sure we are going to give you much more robust digital experiences. So please come back tomorrow. So just to give you a few, for example, insights about tomorrow's presentation. So in the morning tomorrow, we are going to explore the Muslim travel industry, where I am actually in that industry as coming from halaltravels.com. So the next, we will be continue to explore the challenges that the tour industry is going to have, tour operators. So if you are a tour operator, or if you're anyway working with tour operators, the next session tomorrow, the second session tomorrow, will be such an interesting for you. So the digital transformation, of course, is going to be another topic tomorrow. So we discussed a little bit about it, but we are going to go dive into that topic tomorrow. So another topic is optimizing your relationship with online travel agencies, in particularly improving your brand. So I think this is going to be an important discussion and conversation, particularly for hoteliers, because the conversation and communication and partnership between OTAs and hotels have been more important than ever in this COVID-19 process. Also, we are going to talk more about innovation and technology. So another session tomorrow will be exploring about the machine learning, artificial intelligence, and chat boxes. Even though these looks like the buzzwords nowadays, so they're going to certainly something innovating this industry, as they already impacted on many different industries. So the smart technologies, innovative experiences, safety, and also surviving against the powerful travel platforms will be another topic. So because there are lots of small and mid-sized companies and startups, so it's really hard for them to survive in this environment. So the final session tomorrow will explore that, and I'm sure you will get a lot of insights from that conversations. Thank you, Svetlana, for staying with me until the end. So we hope you join us tomorrow and enjoy the second day of the summit. Thank you, Svetlana, and have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Be safe.